Welcome to Let's Play Dragon Age 2. I'm Carbonix, and with me today I have a guest.
I'm Subponicate Poster, so happy to be here on the Dragon Age 2.
There we're just going to be exploring Kirkwall, meeting people we've met over the year. Basically, it's a really nice way they've showed the passage of time. Better than just telling you time's passed.
Oh, worthy.
Second best door from the game.
It was just a year you were with them, right?
Yes, I'm done with that.
Good for you. Always nice to see someone striking out on their own. I'll tell you what. I still have my old contacts. You need some rune crafting done, I can arrange it for you. Take care, Hawk. Don't get dead.
Crafting. So much crafting.
You don't seem to like your brother very much.
And here I thought it took blood magic to read minds.
I had a twin brother, Carver. He used to nail my braid to the bed while I was sleeping. I never thought I'd miss him.
Carver was such an asshole.
Sorry
Yeah,
about your brother.
that's why I don't like playing a mage.
You want mine? I got a spare.
You're stuck with him the whole fucking game.
You lose Bethany. Here. Make things. You have to have the resources. I like how they do the resources in here more than I do in Inquisition.
Yeah, you only have to find them once, and then they count forever. You don't have to find individual pieces, which is a pain in the ass since they took duping out. Well, sort of. Now you can... They found another bug where you can dupe stuff again, but it's not quite the same.
Wouldn't expect it to be. They don't want you to make the game easy.
Yeah, God forbid you break a single-player game.
It has a multiplayer element.
But none of that breaking carries over to multiplayer, so, you know.
Have you seen a dog?
The person who we're going to romance, Sebastian.
God. Fucking Sebastian.
Chantry cannot condone revenge, Sebastian.
It is
I
my
like him.
right, my duty, to show these assassins there is nowhere in the free marches to hide.
This is murder.
No.
Is that a bow on his back or the giant stick up his ass?
Both?
I guess we know where he keeps it.
I always did find it weird. He's the only person that can use bows. Even if you play a rogue yourself, you can't use bows in this game.
Seems odd.
Yeah, because they're in the base game, but you can't use them. I just really like this loading screen. One of the unique loading screens they actually have. It's only for the Chantry.
Yeah, they did some cool loading screens in this.
I was really hoping that Bethany would say her special line for coming to the Chantry, but
You know
she
what
didn't.
Orzammar is?
She said she started talking about Orzammar with
Luxury
Ferric.
and body odor. And every person there thinks he's better than you because his great
Sounds a treat.
grandfather made a water clock or something.
But they're your people. I shall not be left. Don't you even wonder what it would be like?
And I'm about to make a very fatal mistake right here, thinking, oh, this isn't that long of a codex entry. Boy, was I mistaken.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I can't. Oh. And then I sort of,
Started scrolling and you're like, shit.
it's slow enough that people can pause the video if they want. The other few codex entries I've picked up are short. A very influential person of the Chantry.
to witness that disgraceful scene by the Chanters Board. I am Elfina,
Influential in a
Grand
sense,
Cleric of Kirkwall.
as he's basically,
Normally a good lad.
considering how the Chantry's almost like the Catholic Church, I'd have to say head priest?
She'd be like an archbishop, I think.
Sebastian Vale. He was affirmed here
Because the
nearly a decade
divine
ago.
would be the Pope.
He had just been invested.
Yeah, Divine's the Pope.
He got the news about his family.
Maybe a cardinal
Afraid
in the
he
rankings.
reacted rashly.
Yeah.
Denied his vows
since it's the head of the individual chantries that vote on who the next pope is. So yeah, cardinal, I guess.
So he's some kind of priest.
So, this is actually the point where Divine Justinia II, I believe, is actually still alive. She dies soon,
Before last
relatively.
week, I would have said he was the most faithful of our true believers.
He said someone murdered his family.
Sebastian is the youngest son of the ruling family of Starkhaven. They were overthrown recently, violently. Sebastian is the only surviving member.
This is actually a quest you can just go, nah, I'm not gonna do it.
Prince Sebastian
And you'd
Mayor,
never get Sebastian.
he succeeds in his pledge to take back his lands. He made a vow to the Maker to put worldly concerns behind him. It is a sin to forswear himself for a mere title.
I think his family deserves to be avenged.
Sebastian would spend his coin to buy men's lives, the same as those who attacked his family. No matter how justified he feels, that is murder. And when he returns, I will tell him
It
so
doesn't
again.
change his opinion no matter how much you probably will tell him. Get surprised by this conversation there, mentioning the Qunari, which do show up, just not in this video. They're here's the map screen. It's nice. Have 3 bits. Basically Kirkwall day, Kirkwall night, mountains. Select where you want to go, but you have to visit there first.
Are you really not afraid of apostates? Not even a little?
Sunshine, I'm a dwarf, in case you missed that detail.
Dwarves aren't completely immune to magic, you know.
No. I meant there are at least 30 people in this town who'd murder my family over trade deals. Who has time to worry about apostates with a merchant's guild breathing down your neck?
In that case,
This is where the Venture Imperium was mentioned as actually having the city beforehand. And that's actually a relevant plot point,
I see.
sort of.
Yeah, part of the problem with Kirkwall is all the shit that went on here before.
Yeah, like, it's in Codex Entries, the Secrets of Kirkwall Codex series. Basically tells you these cities set up in a very diabolical way. But first, before anything else we do around the city, we gotta get up. Our old friend came with us. The best person in the game.
Aveline.
Can't wait to do her romance.
Hello, Hawk.
Copper marigolds? What's this shit?
Nice to see I'm missed.
I have to say, I was extremely disappointed when I originally played, and I couldn't actually romance Aveline myself.
I know, bummer. Kind of like Cassandra in Inquisition. All the girls want to romance her and they can't.
You know I don't like it when
Yeah.
you have people watch me. Saved me camping on your doorstep.
Yeah,
After
I ended
what
up
you went
with
through to get here,
Anders on my first time by
Let's just
accident.
say I don't want to lose track
Ew.
of you.
Yeah,
Places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
I'm a
I was not happy with that.
How did I get myself in this mess, and how do I get myself out?
Then buy the drinks.
Beat the game, play another character.
Strange like that.
Well, the DA2's what passes for romance system I quite liked a lot because you can hook up with people and then just be like, no, it was for fun, never mind, and it doesn't ruin your chances with other people, except Sebastian, so...
Yeah, Sebastian is completely, you have to devote yourself to him, no one else, or you lose it. Which is interesting in concept, but the fact there's no hint of it anywhere in the game is annoying to say the least.
Yeah, if it doesn't give you that hint where everybody else doesn't really care, it's like, that would have been good to know.
Because he was DLC that was added later,
All right.
a bit after the release, if I remember correctly, and compared to him, everyone else will go either way for gender.
Very different pace from
he is the only one that has gender lock to female only,
But there's a new king.
and you have
for a
to
new
focus on just
Ferelden.
him.
Seems cocksure, but I guess he was there when the archdemon fell.
And this is
Hell's
where
protective hand. It's
I
just one more
believe in the
change, though.
history
Ariel End for me was
that we
Ostabar.
start off with,
You and
Alistair's
Carver must have felt
king.
something similar. I don't know if that's right to say. I barely knew him.
I don't dwell
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, he should be king,
I guess we had that in common.
because
Then I
he
would have
doesn't
liked
end
him.
up appearing
The blight is over. We
in
could
the
go back to Lothar.
Hanged Man.
That wasn't home
As a
for
drunk.
me.
There's a drunk.
That's where the Horde pressed us.
Because that
It wasn't the first
if
village I
if he's
saw.
warden, he never shows up.
But you don't
If
get
he's
used
king,
to
he makes a
people losing
cameo
everything.
appearance later on,
I had been away already.
and if
I don't
you
know if I'd still be
exile him
there.
completely, he's a drunk in the Hanged
Sometimes
Man.
the best thing about a place
Nice.
is that it's where you're from.
I think it's a
All
fitting
right,
outcome.
You have something worth
Exile, drink all your problems
My
away.
patrols may be empty
In the
walks
shittiest
dark,
town in
but
Thedas.
there's something big coming up.
Uh,
I could use you.
Hard to say if it's actually the worst one.
Although I can't find any shipments
Considering it's
to
the
match up.
only one we've seen, though,
Highwaymen waiting for
It's
someone
not a
else.
good example.
I'm putting a stop.
the hopes for the rest isn't great.
There's a fun conversation you can get in Inquisition if you have Dorian and Varric in your party, and Dorian will say, "You know, I've been to Kirkwall," and Varric's like, "Oh yeah?" And then Dorian says, "Yeah, it's a real shithole," and Varric says, "Yeah."
That's kind of the opinion of anyone who's been in Kirkwall for a while.
Simple as that.
Unless you're
I'll
noble,
wager it's smugglers, though.
then it's kind of
Like I
okay.
said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
But as long as you don't go out at night,
You've been nosing around
or leave the
outside.
Hightown area,
I have
ever.
contacts.
Yeah.
They're complaining about a lack of meat.
What are you saying? Lowtown's a barrel of laughs.
Someone is
A
hiring.
barrel laughs full of a whole bunch of,
One or two
at this
tell me
point,
to prepare
Ferelden
for
refugees
travel.
that
You want to be
just
good
get
at this
angry
job?
at everybody.
Pay attention to what's missing and when people arrange escape routes.
Seems like you
Look.
want to share this with your fellow guards.
Here we're picking up
I will if you sit on your
Aveline's side
hands.
quest of
I'll send my alerts and someone
going
else
to
will lead a patrol.
help out.
I just thought you'd like
First of a
official
few
sanction
quests
to
that you
cause
actually get for
trouble
your
once.
companions.
All right. Let's go break some necks for the greater good.
Completely sanctioned
I knew
violence
I
is
could count
always
on
fun.
you. They're hidden up Sunderland,
Hooray!
remote and rough,
Hawk knows
but we
this,
can make good time with a shortcut this
but we won't
side.
get to actually doing
And
that
no,
for a
you
bit.
can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're
And
acting
she won't let you do it alone.
Darn it.
That's nice, but she's great. And now just hop on over to Lowtown to
A Ferelden in the guard. What will they think of next?
You have a problem with that?
Me? My family's not native either. I'm just surprised. A lot of old prejudice in the guard.
I'll give them plenty of reason to change their minds.
You know, it's possible they're just scared shitless of you. That's my theory, anyway.
It's not a bad theory.
My. If it isn't Hawk. Elegant. Lady elegant, if you don't mind. I'm a married woman now. Last time we met, you were still working for that brutish thug, Mirren. Things have been
Then
going
here's
well
the
since
potion
then.
dealer.
Is there
Wait,
something you're
is this the potion
interested
dealer? Yes,
You
this is
may
the potion
recall I
dealer.
supplied the Red Iron with
Darktown
potions.
is the poison dealer.
I'd be willing to extend you the same courtesy if you like. All I ask is you inform me of any interesting reagents you find. In exchange, I'll approach my contacts on your behalf. And of course you'll need
She must be the only one that does potions, because oddly she supplied them to the smugglers as well.
Yeah, she just supplies everyone.
She gets around.
Too bad we won't find any Alfred in the city to just start making potions.
More trouble than
It's what I
commerce in
normally
this
end up
place.
wasting money on. Just a whole bunch of potions I don't need.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not a whole lot else to waste your money on. I think the best weapons are found and not bought, so
Into the worst tavern, but also the best tavern.
the best tavern.
The worst tavern because you have a chance of just getting drugged and beat here. Then, conspiracy theory. and I actually didn't realize until you had mentioned it in your LP about Sten in the first game, mentioning how everything smelled of dog, that people weren't calling me a dog for no reason, because I really didn't understand that. It's because I'm Ferelden.
Because you're Ferelden, the Dog Lords.
I didn't know that. I'm like, that's a terrible insult. Just, what does that even mean?
An expedition into the deep roads without knowing a way in.
Now we get the quest that leads us to the worst character.
I've received some new information. There's a Grey Warden in the city. If anyone knows how to get down there, it'll be him.
Why would a Grey Warden know that?
The Wardens don't just fight Darkspawn. They forge into the
They normally go to deep roads to dive, Eric.
And if he doesn't know, he might be able to point us to those.
They do that.
Too bad Anders didn't follow that example.
Well, that's because through convoluted means,
But it was a bust. I'll keep looking. But if we don't
he's
find
completely
something,
bypassed that.
the expedition with nowhere to go.
I don't think he's been a warden long enough, technically.
We may need to
I think by this point he's been a warden for about a year.
Yeah, that's nowhere near long enough. Usually it's a couple of decades.
But it might also be slightly because of his situation compared to the other wardens.
A Lowtown woman named Vereen has been helping the Fereldans. We talked
Kind
to
of,
her,
you know, being
and we
possessed
learned
does
what
that.
it is. I'll keep after my
That would have been a good callback in Inquisition if Anders was still alive in your keep state, that you could bump into him during the calling and just be like, yeah, go kill yourself, asshole.
Yeah.
Please do. Or have him get in on some of that blood magic action. Never stopped him before.
He is a really hypocritical person in this game. Because when we meet up with Meryl, which will be that I'm going to bring him along with our sister. Now we go to the docks, where I realize there's absolutely nothing at the docks.
There's some boats. Maybe some fish.
Yeah, but considering I sat here, I'm like, I'm looking for something, and it was about 20 minutes of me just wandering around this area going, I think I'm missing it somewhere. I decided to kind of just move all that issue, because I figured out what it was. I was in the docks at the wrong point in time. So let's just go over to Darktown instead and meet with Tom Wise, the potion dealer. I keep forgetting that potions are actually pretty decent in this.
No one does.
Let them corral the troublemakers. I just want information.
Right, right.
It sounds like I'm trying to convince myself, doesn't it?
I wouldn't have said, but yes.
Tom Wise?
There's some pretty decent party banner in this game.
Yeah. This one actually going to be the first time really switching around my party more than I did. Normally I just keep Avalyn in my party, and I always keep either Varric or Isabella for my rogue, unless I was playing a rogue. It's the only reason I like playing a rogue, so I can get rid of traps.
Pick all the locks. Get the traps.
Yeah. Because very weird, but it's also really nice with the rogue DLC packs that they have, is they actually have equipment for your rogue that makes lockpicking easier and traps easier.
I didn't get any DLC. I actually played Origins and DA2 shortly before Inquisition came out, because the game looked interesting. I'm like, well, I probably ought to catch up on the whole series, and at this point, you can get them just dirt cheap, so that's what I did.
Yeah.
I got the kind of comprehensive version of Origins that had Awakenings and all the DLC, but I got the base version of DA2, so I didn't have the Sebastian DLC or any of the extra stuff. And I'll probably go back and do it at some point, but it's one of those where I'm like, pay more for the DLC than I got the game for like $10.
Yeah, because each of the story DLCs are still $10.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sebastian DLC is like 8 or so, I think. Like, in here I'm having trouble looting a body. And I kind of cut out me going over towards Anders' area, and then realizing I forgot to do a mission point.
Could I suggest that we never come here again?
Sister Plinth's remains. You're just hanging out.
Yeah, and Deathroot. Fun little thing there. Has a terrible name, but is useful. Collision detection.
Get out of the way! Just some body parts laying around. We'll just pick them up, put them in our pocket.
And talk with a...
Danzig! Da-da-da-da.
I don't make my guards fight gangs in dark corners, but if you'd like to...
And just remove a fight here that lasted for about 2 minutes.
Oh, they're all kind of the same with these guys anyway.
Yeah, they're actually... this is what I was looking for in the Flint Company mercenaries. They are the first little bit of Sebastian's quest we're doing. Because apparently they were hired to kill his family, and now he wants them dead.
Revenge!
And if I was playing a rogue, I would be a glass cannon right about now that could open up that chest. But I don't like putting Varric or Isabella in that position, because they don't have all the armor bits that I can have. Now to get the little bit that I missed for seeing Anders. Another unique loading screen for first.
My mother's in labor. The baby's come early. Can anyone help her? I'll send word to the healer, but
My son's hurt bad.
What's your mother, like 50?
Overturned on him in the blasted bone pit.
everyone in your turn.
That's kind of confusing on her age, because
Gray hair.
And medicine for all of you. If you're
this is one of
feeling
the
pain,
other ways
your
to
name with my girl.
spend your money.
We serve
It's that
everyone
donation
here.
box.
No one came from Ferelden without trouble. But I can't give priority to anyone who's already found work and lodging.
I hear you know where I can find a Ferelden Grey Warden.
Only Ferelden Grey Warden I've heard of is sitting on the throne. We're out of the Blight's path now. Why would you need a warden?
The healer was one of them once, wasn't he? A warden?
Well, he's not now, and busy enough without answering fool questions about it. Where is this healer? You see what our people face in Kirkwall. They have no jobs, no homes. Most can barely buy bread. This healer, he serves them without thought for coin. He's closed their wounds, delivered their children.
And yet he needs to hide.
He's a good man. I won't lose him to the Blighted Templars.
You mean he's a mage?
Would I stick my neck out for some purveyor of hensbane and leeches?
You look like you would.
We would never turn someone over to the Templars, mistress. Never.
He doesn't want to be
Not
dropped
us.
on the gallows just for using the gifts the Maker gave him.
I wouldn't worry so much about his safety. Worry about yours.
Don't you threaten me. You think we're strangers to violence after the Blight? Any Ferelden in the city would lay down his life for the healer after what he's done for us. Still, I suppose you can seek him out. Anders certainly hasn't turned anyone else away. Look for the lit lantern in Darktown.
It's
If you
the
have
only
need
one.
enough, Anders
Yeah.
will be within.
I got 5 kids to feed. Where do I find work?
And right outside, we run into the only group I'll be nice to.
We heard you in there asking about the
Just
We
a
know
simple
what happens to
misunderstanding
mages
of
in
these
this
people.
town, and it ain't gonna happen to him.
Look, we're Ferelden's just trying to keep out of the Templar's sight, same as you.
Ferelden? But your clothes. I figured you for a Kirkwaller, sorry. Make her bless the rule of our
I
King
always kicked
Alistair.
his ass.
Yeah. I don't understand how he can confuse us with a Kirkwaller when we live in Lowtown. We've been in town for about a year.
And everyone else seems to know who we are.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
You could do worse,
And-
Hawk. It's a roof.
Let's go visit our new home.
It's got cheese.
And puppy.
Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
I'm still there.
Don't mind all the really, really shiny bits on the other room. Just check our letters. Have nice, simple letters. No.
Yay, the Black Emporium.
Yeah.
Now they have the Black Emporium in Inquisition, and sadly they did not get the same voice actor. He does a pretty good job, but it's not quite the same. Made me sad.
The voice acting in this one is really nice.
Yeah, I love him. It also doesn't have all the stuff you can interact with.
That's unfortunate.
So, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's the same map cleaned up, but you don't get to play with all of his stuff.
And it seems like we haven't seen our mother for a year. But first,
The house won't clean itself, Uncle.
have to reprimand our uncle for not cleaning.
My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
Why was nothing set aside for us, Uncle?
Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else.
And whoever
Why don't
wrote
you ever
Gamlin
talk
is
about it?
really, really good at
The
it.
Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel
So
drove
they got
out
the-
Sword Flight.
Just the whole...
We've always kept
Scummy asshole down pretty well.
Yeah.
a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Good job, Mom.
It's not the worst that could have happened.
Our father
No, that's later.
still in pinafores, girl. You
Yeah.
can hardly expect me to remember.
Sounds like a yes to me.
Take me to the vault.
Can't. It's in the cellar of the estate. Someone else lives there now.
You didn't take your parents' will.
The most important point.
News. You think I've been sitting here for 25
Gamlin doesn't
years
seem to
waiting
care.
for Leander to slink back?
Ah, fuck it.
Who bought the estate, Gamlin? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
So, I hate thinking badly of family. But did Uncle Gamlin seem a little slippery when he talked about Grandfather's will?
No, not at all.
If he, say, invested money that was meant to be Mother's, do you think he would tell us?
He wouldn't.
I want what's ours.
Good. I'm glad we agree. Gamlin told me he gave the estate as payment to some slaver who beat him at dice.
Gambling problems.
Apparently, our ancestral home is now a base for slavers.
And it just gets
from all
worse for
over
him later
Thedas.
on.
Good. Then we can break in, and I don't care if we kill them.
I already talked to both of them about this. Gamlen said they guard the front entrance well. But Mother gave me her old key. She said it should unlock the cellar. Apparently the sewers run right beneath
Oh,
the
hooray, a
house.
sewer level.
And you would kind of hope the sewer would run below a house. Because
Yeah, it's not much good otherwise.
where all the waste product goes, then
Dog.
dog.
He wasn't like this in Lothering. I think
You actually get to name dog. I think I gave him a very appropriate name.
Come here, you.
Poor thing. Maybe he'd be
I thought
happier
about being
once
nice
he
on the
went
dog,
to
but
Orphan.
We might soon have need for a war dog.
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
What's his name? You know,
Gamlen, honestly,
dog.
Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Real easy to remember.
Yeah. Better name for dog.
Shithead. I'm wondering if I should be offended or not.
Because this way, when anything happens with him, he does something just, oh, butts.
Wake up. You've got a job to do.
I was hoping for a longer scene there. Oh, actually,
Get out of my face. Your mother's
I wish we had the money for our own place.
Everyone, shut up.
I always wanted to bring you children back to